Right, this is a video by Joe Fazer on the differences between clean bulking versus dirty bulking. So let's just jump right into it.
So this is my mate Hal. We started the gym off together and we're still doing it to this day. Now we speak about the gym all the time, but the other day, me and Hal got into a disagreement. Let me explain. You have man A and man B. They both train hard in the gym, but the difference is man A's diet is healthy, clean foods, whereas man B's diet is unhealthy, dirty foods. However, at the end of the day, both men...
Right, there's a problem here already, because what do you classify as clean and what do you classify as dirty food? By dirty, do you mean fat laden, like an excessive ratio of fat to carbs and protein in it? Or do you mean just fast food in general? Or, I mean, we need to specify what clean bulking is and what dirty bulking is, really, before we start this experiment.
The exact same calories and protein. Will these guys see the same results? Well, my mate Hal believes they will.
My take is, if your sole aim is to gain muscle, it doesn't matter if they're clean or dirty calories. At the end of the day, calories in, calories out determines your weight. The amount of protein you eat determines how much muscle you're going to build.
So you think the results of person A and person B would be the exact same?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
You see, Hal's point made a lot of sense.
Let's take this bowl of chicken, rice and broccoli, a classic bodybuilder meal, but this 20 nugget box from McDonald's, well, they have the exact same amount of calories and protein in.
So, going off Hal's logic, these two meals would yield the exact same muscle building results. And while I understood his point, my argument against him was,
right, well, yeah, the protein and the calories are the same in those meals, but there's going to be the chicken nuggets. There's going to be no carbs really in the chicken nuggets, not really compared to the fat content. The fat content is going to make up basically the whole rest of the calories, along with the protein. And but the bodybuilding meal is it's got a much higher ratio of low GI carbs with it in the rice and the broccoli. It's going to refill your glycogen stores, and it's going to be much better bodybuilding meal just because bodybuilders need carbs in general to refill the muscles after an intense workout. So if most of your meals are consisting of high fat and moderate protein, then yeah, you're not going to get optimal results in the weight room.
Why do all of our favourite bodybuilders, the successful ones, eat clean? There has to be a reason.
Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, Sebum, they're all known for eating the classic, clean bodybuilding meals, and it clearly works. Jay Cutler! So, what is the correct answer?
Right, well, one of the reasons why big bodybuilders, like the best in the world, the biggest guys in the world who are on the most drugs in the world, tend to eat super healthy diets, low in saturated fat and high in low GI carbs. They do that because they need to stay as healthy as possible while they're taking shitloads of drugs. Okay, they're already redlining the health markers with all the drugs they're taking. So the last thing we want to do is just say, you know, screw it, I'm going to just eat anything and everything to get bigger. If you do both of those things at the same time, you take a lot of anabolics and your diet is absolute shit, then your cholesterol's going to get all out of whack and it's just not going to be good for your cardiovascular system in any way, shape or form. So that's one of the main reasons why they have such a strict and healthy diet.
I put this exact same scenario on my Instagram story. Over 100,000 people saw it, and everyone had different opinions.
Calories in, calories out has yet to be broken ever.
Focus on clean eating.
What is the correct answer? Which of these guys will see the best results, or will it be the exact same? Well, in this video, I'm going to get an answer.
Good morning, people. Oh yeah, please ignore the state of the place. I've literally just moved house.
To test this theory, I'm going to do 2 days of eating. 1 clean and 1 dirty. These are my current daily calories I need to eat, and this is my current daily protein.
It's day 1, and we're going to start off with clean bulking today. Meal 1, we've got eggs, sourdough bread, and some veg. Pretty clean.
Meal 2 was a simple plate of chicken, rice and broccoli, and for meal 3 we had oats, water, protein powder and some berries and dark chocolate on top.
Right, it doesn't look the most appetising, this, but it's so good.
On the way to the gym I then snacked on 2 bananas.
So it seems like for the clean diet, what he's focusing on is just simple, basic foods that aren't processed, and yeah, you just make your own meals from basic foods. So that's what he's considering clean on the diet.
And to finish off the day, I had pasta, chicken, sweet corn and a little cheese. After finishing this,
Right, I don't know why pasta's considered clean when it's a processed carbohydrate, and the cheese as well. I don't think you needed the cheese on there. That's not really technically a clean meal, is it? If you just add in some cheese on the top of your pasta. Cheese and pasta isn't what I would consider a clean meal.
my total calories came to 3,267 with 206 grams of protein.
Okay, it's day 2. Now for the fun part, dirty bulking. I'm starting the day off with just a classic bacon sandwich. Unreal.
Right, he's doing one day clean and one day dirty, and so I don't know how is he supposed to find anything out from this? How are you supposed to gauge which one's best from doing one day one diet and then the next day the other diet? Surely you should do one diet for, I don't know, at least a few weeks to gauge like results in the gym and how you feel energy wise and things like that. What is the point in doing one day one diet and then the very next day completely switching your diet to another diet? It seems pointless to me, but let's keep watching.
To the day before.
Ooh, okay, what's my verdict? Well, I preferred the clean day. Here's why. I was a lot more satisfied and full up throughout the day, as just in general the meals were bigger. The dirty bulk food were very calorie dense, so you don't get as much of it. Just in general as well, like how I felt, I didn't feel greasy and disgusting compared to on the dirty food day where I was just eating greasy, sugary food. I felt ugh. The one advantage though that I will give to the dirty bulk day, the pumps. Like the pump was so much better.
Yeah, the pump that good pump he's getting is probably due to all the excessive salt and the sugar in the foods that he's eating. So that's what's causing that.
But that is from just so much sugar and salt.
Yeah.
But how I personally felt does not answer the question. Me and Hal had a disagreement. Clean bulking versus dirty bulking. Man A versus Man B. Will one make better results than the other, or will it be the exact same?
Yo.
How you doing, bro?
This is Tim. He's a big guy, but importantly, he's a very well-established bodybuilding coach. Getting 8 people their pro cards, 14 world championships. He's done it all. He's been in the game for such a long time. And if anyone's going to know the true answer to this question, it's him.
And I was like, who could I speak to who would know this the best? So, this is a scenario.
I proceeded to explain the Man A, Man B scenario to Tim. This was the moment of truth. A completely mixed bag from you guys. Me and Hal disagreeing. Genuinely a very controversial topic. But
Who would make better results in the gym?
The guy eating clean.
Why?
In theory, you look at it like that and you say that they're both eating the same amount of calories, so the caloric intake.
Right, I'm just going to jump in before this bloke. I agree with him. I agree with what he says. The bloke eating clean is going to make better gains, mainly due to the fact he's going to have a more sustained energy release throughout the day from his food due to the higher amount of complex carbs that he's eating compared to the amount of sugar that's filling his calories on the dirty bulk diet. I mean, if you, let's say you, for an experiment, you just had a certain amount of protein a day, say 200 grams, and you filled all the rest of your calories up for that day with either sugar or complex carbs. Within a very short time after you've eaten all your sugar for the day, if you eat it all in one meal, you are going to be starving for energy after that's been absorbed. Once the insulin's been released and that all that sugar gets absorbed in your blood, all the glucose gets absorbed in your blood, you've got no more energy for the rest of the day. Sugar gets absorbed extremely quickly into your muscles and into your fat cells. Well, glucose specifically. The sugar turns into glucose in your blood. The glucose gets absorbed into your muscles, or it turns into fat and gets absorbed into your fat cells. So if a high percentage of your calories every day is coming from sugar, then you're not getting that sustained energy that you need to build muscle continually throughout the day. Whereas the person eating the clean diet, who's eating the complex carbs, is going to have that sustained energy release throughout the day where it's level, compared to the sugar spike is going to be like up and then straight down, and then you've got no energy for the rest of the day because the insulin has got rid of all that glucose, it's been absorbed, and then you've got nothing.
Their energy intake's the same, and then the protein, which I guess is the most important nutrient for building muscle and for growing, is the same. So on paper, it looks like there should be no real difference. However, health cascades down into building muscle, right? So clean food is obviously going to build more muscle, cause a cascade of events in the body, and everything's going to improve. Oxidative stress, correct hormone regulation and function, unsaturated fats, which insulin sensitivity, better testosterone levels.
Now, Tim is arguably the most clever person I know, and this call went on for 20 minutes about all the points on why eating healthier in turn builds more muscle. Instead of watching 20 minutes of that, let me break it down for you. So, here is why guy A builds more muscle. Firstly is sleep. Now, this is something that is so important for building muscle.
Here's the thing. Of all of the drugs you can take for muscle building, sleep is the best drug.
Junk foods that in general contain higher saturated fats and more sugar have been linked to decreasing sleep quality. So, guy A gets more sleep, he in turn builds more muscle. Next is the difference in training performance. The junk food contains refined simple carbohydrates. This will make you crash and have no sustained energy, compared to the good food which has complex carbs, which can sustain energy throughout the entire day and the entire workout. And better workouts, well, equals better gains. The final point that Tim mentioned was
Better testosterone levels.
you see, junk food contains bad fatty acids like saturated fats, trans fats, and these are linked to reducing testosterone levels. However, good fatty acid intake like olive oil, dark chocolate, avocados, these will improve our body's hormone.
Yeah, I mean, if you have too much bad fat, then yeah, it's probably not good for your health overall and everything. But I mean, to have optimal testosterone levels, you need an adequate amount of saturated fat in your diet. So if you're not getting a good amount of dietary cholesterol and saturated fat in your diet because you're eating too clean, because you're just trying to avoid any and all bad fats, supposedly like saturated fat, and you're just trying to fill that gap with monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats and such, then you might be damaging your testosterone levels by trying to eat clean and avoiding saturated fat and dietary cholesterol, because they're needed for adequate testosterone production. So it can sort of work both ways.
Production and in turn improve levels of free testosterone in the body.
So a good diet, we're going to have a more efficient hormone system, we're going to have more efficient hormone regulation and have higher natural testosterone levels than someone who doesn't.
Hello.
I forgot that. You right?
Turns out you were wrong, mate. Clean eating equals better. Yeah, clean eating equals better gains. Just before this video ends, I want to give a quick plug to my sponsors, My Protein. They've released these bad boys, which is their like new origin range of protein.
Right, so that's it then, apparently. I'm not sure why they even bothered doing that little one-day experiment where he did one diet for one day and then the other diet for the next day, because it was completely pointless. I mean, they might as well have just called that bloke up to begin with and just asked him on the video call, you know, what's the best, and then that had been the video. But it would have been a better video if he'd stretched it out to like a proper experiment and done like a month on each diet and then reported back his findings. That would have been a bit more helpful, I think, rather than just asking one person what they think and then saying, right, this is definitely the conclusion of the video. It would have been a bit more helpful, I think. But